Oliver and Jumpy by Werner Stacekow. Volume 3. Monkey Island, Egging and Magic. Is this your first encounter with Oliver and Jumpy? Yes? Then let me tell you about them. Oliver is an elegant tomcat and Jumpy is his best friend. They are always on the lookout for new adventures together. Oliver lives in a tree house on the mighty oak tree. He is the most famous cat in the country. Monkey Island by Werner Stacekow and illustrator Marvin Alonso. Jumpy's baby Joey was growing up very quickly. I still remember the first time he looked over the edge of his mummy's pouch. I noticed his tiny furry ears protruding cautiously. It did not take long at all for Joey to grow up. I helped with the chores. Nappy changes were not really very exciting, especially when they happened a few times a day. Eventually, Joey became old enough to leave his beloved pouch from time to time. I suggested that we take a trip to Monkey Island. At the harbor, we boarded our ship, which was a very big lady hippopotamus that had seats strapped to her back. I had never been to the sea. During our crossing, I became thirsty and filled a cup with seawater to drink. Imagine my surprise. It was very salty, and I had to spit and spit and spit. Never drink seawater. After our arrival, we walked to the center of the island. Several monkeys were playing music and singing. Joey wanted to ride on a camel. I almost got seasick with the back and forth swaying motion. Some people call camels ships of the desert. We decided to have a picnic and laid everything on a large blanket. When I turned my back, a cheeky monkey jumped from a tree and stole some of our bananas. I tried to chase him, but while we were distracted, another monkey grabbed little Joey. "What can we do?" Jumpy cried in despair. I had an idea. I offered the remaining bananas to the monkeys. "Come down with Joey and I'll give you the bananas." I took all our apples out of the bag as well. After some discussion, one of them brought Joey down by his tail. He dropped him and quickly grabbed the fruit. Within seconds, everything was gone, and we had nothing left to eat. After this uncalled-for excitement, we still had an enjoyable time. Finally, everybody was tired, so we returned home. We had lots to dream about that night. Sweet dreams to you, darling. Monkey bye, says your elegant friend. Do you want to hatch a dinosaur egg? Egging by Werner Stacekow. Illustrated by Macy N. Reyes. Every year we have egging time. All bird mothers bring one of their eggs. Each egg gets a number. Then the participants receive tickets and win one egg. But nobody knows whose egg it is. In the evening, everybody walked home with an egg. No, they were not for eating. Silly. We had to keep the egg warm until the baby hatched. I put my egg on my pillow. Then I lay on top of it. This was a rather large egg, and I'm only a small cat, so it was not very comfy. Eventually the waiting was over, and noise erupted from the egg. Peck, peck, peck. Suddenly a small hole broke open and a cute beak emerged. Then you could see a face. But it didn't look like any bird I had ever seen. A curious creature emerged, still egg sticky. It was not a chicken, or a pigeon, or a parrot. What bird do you think it was? It was a dinosaur. "Mommy, mommy," it called with her tiny voice. "I'm not your mommy," I said. "Maybe Daddy is better." Dinella was hungry, so I offered her a few crunches. "No, no," she refused. Dinos don't drink milk. I still had a big fish in the fridge and took it out. She grabbed the fish as fast as lightning and greedily munched away. "Hey, leave me some. This was supposed to be my dinner." Wow! Dinella had eaten my whole fish and fell asleep. Eating had made her tired. It had been pretty exciting for me as well, so I had a nap too. The next day, all of us egg hatchers had to take the new babies back to their real parents. We were just helping out. You should try to hatch an egg one day. Maybe you'll get lucky and discover a strange creature too. Dino bye! Would you like to become a magician? Magic by Werner Stesko. Illustrator Macy Ann Reyes. Are you clever? I'm sure you are. But to be really clever, you need to keep studying. I always wanted to learn to do magic. In Zealandia, my silly country, everybody has to study magic. You have to know at least one simple trick, like changing your little brother into a frog. Just come to Zealandia and you will soon be a capable sorcerer. Unfortunately, when I was young, we did not have a wizard in our village, which is why I missed my lessons. Jumpy's son, Joey, was starting his first term. Jumpy and I decided to join him. After all, we would have to be able to undo all the naughty spells Joey might come up with. The wizard's castle is on top of a hill. It has several tall towers rising high up into the dark clouds. At night, many bats circle around the towers. Our lessons would start then, when the power of magic is strongest. We began to have second thoughts as we climbed up to the castle. Owls were hooting. Tree branches made creaking noises. It felt like something alive was watching us. More than once I looked over my shoulder. Jumpy had the same feeling, and Joey climbed into his mother's pouch for comfort. Finally, we arrived at the gates. There was an iron knocker that looked like a dragon's head. Jumpy knocked lightly. "You have to knock harder," said the dragon. Jumpy was a little taken aback hearing him talking. Although we were in Zealandia, what do you expect? He knocked again with all his mighty raw power. All right, now you have done it. You almost brought the walls down," moaned the knocker. The door opened. "Come in, I'll show you to the master." We looked around and wondered where the sound came from. "Down here, dummies," cried the little voice impatiently. We realized that a dwarf was talking to us. He turned around and led the way. Before us was a grand hall. In the middle stood the master wizard. Welcome, new students. I will teach you basic skills like flying, invisibility, concocting a spell, and other essential skills. First of all, we have to acquire a magic wand for each of you. The wizard took us to a magic oak in a courtyard. We were told to look for a nice straight twig, touch it and ask, "Are you my wand to be? Please tell the truth by me." It would reply, "I'm yours for now and ever. Please make sure you lose me never." Soon we had nice wands, but they still did not yet have any magic. The next morning we had to point our wands to the sun and say, "Please charge my wand through time and space, and bless it with your magic grace." A blue ray of light shot from the clouds, entering our wands, and so they became truly magical. The wizard taught us a spell for flying. We went to the side of the castle brook. We pleaded, "Oh wand, let me safely cross this water, straight ahead and not to falter." I was surprised when I lifted off the ground and moved across the stream. The wizard tested if we had learned the day's flying lesson. We all had to climb to the top of the tower. He opened the window. We will all jump out and fly down to the forest. You chant your magic spell while you are falling. We were all scared, looking down from up high. The wizard reassured us of his help should we fail. The wind was singing past my ears, and the ground rushed towards me. I raised my wand and said the spell. My speed only slowed down before I almost hit the ground. This first lesson was exciting, and we had a great story to tell. Don't jump out of any window though. Flying with a magic wand only works in Zealandia. Wandy bye. Thank you very much for reading Oliver and Jumpy. You are now a special friend, and you will be able to take part in all their adventures.